One of the big appeals of Devil May Cry is the way it makes you feel when you play the game. You yourself, not just Dante, not just the character, but you yourself feel like a badass when you're executing these incredible combos and doing all these really hard to execute moves. It just makes you feel really cool, more so than a lot of other games. And the fact that the game is giving you constant feedback and letting you know how cool you are is just the icing on the cake.
When DMC first came onto the scene, the original one, it brought in a lot of things from music, rock, to kind of fashion, action cinema into games, and they didn't really, nothing actually did that as well as Devil May Cry 1. So we purposely looked outside of games. We looked at where Dante came from. We looked at kind of what's fashion like in Japan versus here. What do characters look like in video games versus, for example, movies? Ryan Gosling, for example, from Drive, I think he's one of the coolest characters around. And if you did a concept image of that and put it in front of a focus test, you probably wouldn't get a great response. So what is it internal in the character that makes Dante cool? How does he dress? How would he look if you walk down the street today? These were the questions we were asking ourselves. How can we, in the spirit of the original DMC, bring in outside elements that you don't normally see in video games? The original concepts we put together for Dante were actually quite similar to the previous installments of Dante, but they inevitably came out as they look like fan art. It looks like we were trying to make a Japanese game, whereas the Capcom guys were very clear. They wouldn't have given it to us if they wanted the same thing. Be bold, be brave, do something that we don't expect.
Yeah, well, from what we knew about Ninja Theory already, we knew that they had made pretty much exclusively action games until now, so we knew they had some action game chops. We knew that their visuals were very striking and they had some good technology behind that. And so we had some idea of what they were going to bring to the table, and we were looking forward to hearing more about it and learning more about them and bringing some of our own talents to the table as well. It was like a big kind of show and tell session. So we were looking forward right from the beginning to the collaboration, which is not to say we weren't nervous, because we didn't know these guys very well and vice versa. But we knew that if we stuck to our creative vision and were really open and honest with each other, we were going to come up with something really special that neither of us would have been able to make on our own.
My name is Dante.
I mean, it's true that Ninja Theory is well known for its storytelling and art, but that's not where we want to be. We want to be well known for our awesome everything, awesome game experience. And we had a lot to learn. We had a lot to learn on this project, and Capcom are the masters of kind of the hack and slash going way back. So it was a really open collaboration where we luckily had these guys talking to our designers, our combat designers, about the frame delays, pop-out windows, all kinds of even the kind of drawing actual poses for the end of moves, so we find cool poses. So we did a lot of collaboration on that front, and I think that what we've got is the best game easily that we've ever done on the gameplay and story side. I think the story side, I think it was important for us to tell Dante's story. It was important for us to start again and tell the story from a new perspective and give a new entry point for people who maybe didn't stick with DMC all the way through. So if you've never played a DMC before, this game provides you a way in. And so the story was really focused around Dante, how he starts in the game, why is he brash, cocky, etc., and how does his character develop?
This is it, Dante. We have to put our lives into each other's hands completely, without hesitation.
We are brothers, after all.
From the start, we wanted to have Virgil. He's Dante's twin brother, but he's also a very different character-wise. And this really is a story of two brothers and the journey they take. Without wanting to give away too much, I think it's fair to say that They have different perspectives. They look upon humanity in different ways. Virgil's a little bit colder in his thinking. Dante's more of a James Dean type. Virgil's more of a David Bowie maybe, like more of a kind of a colder, more calculating, super intelligent character with slightly murky intentions.
I think anytime, this applies to movies, to games, to anything, but anytime you take an existing fiction, an existing world, an existing character, and mix things up a bit and try to reboot or give a rebirth to it, you're going to upset some people because if it's a popular thing, it already has existing fans, and they might like things quite the way they are. So we weren't shocked, we weren't surprised, we knew there would be some negativity at the beginning, and we were ready for it. I think had it come out of nowhere and we didn't know it was coming, we'd have been pretty depressed, but I think the fact that we were prepared for it helped, and I think honestly, it served as a motivator because it really kind of set a clear path for us to move down. What do we now need to do to win them over? How do we get them to understand who this new Dante is? What sort of context do we need to provide so that they'll understand this character, they'll understand that the game is really good? So it really served to motivate us more than demotivate us. I think right around halfway around development, actually, the angel and demon mechanic was implemented to a degree where we could actually pick up the controller and really at least see that the skeleton was there. We just needed to sort of add the meat onto it and polish it. And we knew right away this was such a compelling gameplay mechanic and felt so good that all we needed to do was take it and run with it. That was the moment, I think, that we all kind of breathed a sigh of relief, knew we were on the right track, and could relax and just concentrate on making the best game. Yeah, I think a lot of the, the negativity or the concern, the trepidation you see on the part of the users, it's not driven by anything, intrinsically evil. I think it's driven by just nervousness and unease and not knowing what it's going to be like. And I think, we're going to have chances here soon for people to get their hands on the game and play it very soon, actually. And when you do, I think you'll see the things that we saw and feel the things that we felt when we played the game. You'll understand that, despite the visual changes, despite that the game looks different, it feels very much like a Devil May Cry game, and I think that ultimately that's what's going to matter to the fans.
Devil May Cry. It's out on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, January the 15th, 2013, with a PC version coming soon after.